What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Q&A, and you guys liked it, so I'm gonna keep doing it until you guys don't leave any more questions, or you guys just say, hey Matt, we really don't want to listen to your stupid opinions anymore, so you can just shut up. First question from Dan Does Games and Stuff. Have you seen Winter Potato's face? And can you give us a hint on how he looks like? If you watch VisualWood, I already gave you 2 examples of how WP looks like. He's a cross between Joey Tribbiani and Scarlett Johansson. Next question, Merlinster says, hey Matt, have you tried out WvW on your server yet? My experiences of WvW have been pretty crummy. Lots of shouting and arguing from commanders, and a lot of abuse/blame thrown at newbies who are trying to give Season 1 a try. Hope you're having better luck. This is a touchy subject because you're always going to get newbies in any game mode, whether it be PvP, WvW, whatever. But in case of WvW, you're going to get those guys that are just coming in just for Season 1, trying to figure out what exactly to do. And what they do is basically what they do in PvE, is follow the commander and hit stuff, really. They don't really understand what they need to do. Now, how do new players learn how to play WvW? You go on whatever voice chat that your server has. Does it have Mumble? Does it have Ventrilo? Does it have TeamSpeak? Go on those servers, listen to the commanders. You don't have to necessarily talk. You can totally mute yourself. Whatever you have to do, only listen to the commander, and the commander will tell you exactly what to do. Oh, stand here, start stacking, blah, 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 blah. And I'm pretty sure in your map chat, you're gonna say, oh, join this server, so you can actually, listen to the commander. Everyone has to start somewhere, right? Like, you're not gonna be beast as soon as you walk in. Commanders need to understand it. I'm pretty sure there's some commanders out there that just take it too far. This is like, okay, you suck. You need to get out of WvW so you can let the good people in the queue actually come in and get out, newbie. Like, I'm pretty sure they get mad. Now, my experience with WvW has been drastically different now that I'm on a, I guess, higher populated server. The queue times for TC is ridiculous, right? Well, I guess in comparison to what I used to go when, basically I could just go in and nobody would be in WvW. Now, like, there's always somebody in the Borderlands, there's always somebody in Eternal Battlegrounds. Oh my gosh, on reset day, the queue was insane. Just hours and hours. I was just sitting there waiting for it to pop so I can go in Eternal Battlegrounds or even any Borderlands, because that's when everyone is playing. And I realized long queues is not a new thing. People have been dealing with long queues ever since, any server that has a very, very big WvW fan base. Now you ask yourself, why haven't they fixed this yet? Why are the queues so long? Why can't they just make everyone go in? Now, see, here's the problem. If you have no player cap in WvW, everyone will just flood in, and the server with the most people will just win, right? Because they have the most Zergs. They'll have Zergs just flooding the whole map. I can't imagine how that would look. It will be overpowered for the server who has the most population of players. I mean, can you imagine strategy? You could kiss strategy goodbye, throw it out the window. Now, why don't they just tweak it just a little bit, just a little bit more players, just a little bit more, based on the server population, let a little bit more players. Now, if they do that, also you have a performance issue. Now, already people have been having skill lag immensely. Like, some elementalists can't even change their attunements. Arena have a lot on their plate. Now I see why they haven't fixed it yet. I mean, how do you balance all these things? Now, they are coming out with a temporary fix called Edge of the Mist. So you remember all those long queues and sitting about in Lion's Arch waiting for the queue to pop? Well, guess what? You can actually spend your queue time in the Edge of the Mist, which is basically a WvW playground. This will hold all the players because as one map fills up, another overflow is made and constantly made and made and made. I really hope that it's just like PvE where you can just join a party, and if your friend is in another overflow, another part of the Edge of the Mist, that you can just join his party and then join his overflow. I would hope that would happen, because that would suck if you don't get to play with your friends. Now, you can level up and get achievements in the Edge of the Mist, but any points you earn for your server will not count to the official season for WvW. So it does fix the issue of having nothing to do when you want to try WvW and you're just waiting in Lion's Arch for queue. Plus, there'll be an area for people to try out WvW with actually going into WvW, because you can actually pick to go to this Edge of the Mist map instead of going to WvW. So maybe people who just want to get achievements and don't really care about the commanding and anything like that, they can go to this little Edge of the Mist playground and get all their achievements there and not have to bother, the players that really want to play World v World for their server. Trust me, I know you're thinking, you know, but I'm not in the real server. I'm not earning anything for my server in World v World. What I do in Edge of the Mist is not going to change anything. Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather this than nothing at all. I mean, can you imagine just sitting there in Lion's Arch, just waiting, talking to your guild for like 2 hours? Like, man, when is this queue gonna pop? Because they really need to fix that. FQ Dark says, did you ever play Guild Wars 1? Yes, I actually completed all the story content and I got like 30-ish HOM points, I think. It's funny how HOM points don't even matter anymore. For people who don't know, you could earn achievements in Guild Wars 1 and earn yourself like skins and titles in Guild Wars 2. People don't even use the skins or titles anymore. Like everyone's using like the crappiest titles. They don't even care. They have 50-50 in HOM, which is the max, and they don't even wear the titles. It's like, I'd rather wear this skin instead. Oh, I'd rather use this title. This title's funny. And the reason why I even picked up Guild Wars 1 was because of Guild Wars 2. Yes, I heard of Guild Wars 1 back in the days. Oh my gosh, it's the best game ever, a couple of my friends used to say. But I just never had the interest of picking it up. And you know, I never got into WoW either. You know how you just click the skills and stuff. I like the action combat. I have always been interested in action combat other than just clicking the skill 1 2 3. I mean, people harp on that a lot, but seriously, from the very beginning I just never got into that. So a friend pretty much brought me throughout the whole game and told me what to do and helped me with the achievements, and I really like the builds that were in Guild Wars 1 as well, and how it was set up. But I mean, it's a 7-year-old game, so it has a bunch of content that you can run through and what people kind of settled themselves into already. Overall though, I know this has been mentioned so many times, Cantha. That was the place I wanted to see in Guild Wars 2 so bad, and I was so disappointed when it was gone. But anyways, I'm not gonna say any more about Cantha.
Cantha, what are we planning on seeing that?
Ink the Dink says, MV, you've said before that you think maybe dungeon content or the new dungeon content isn't for you. What do you think has led to this change about yourself as an MMO gamer? Now, I don't dislike dungeons in general, I just dislike the dungeon that recently came out because I feel like it's out of place. I'll get to that in a moment. Regular dungeons are great and I feel like they still have a purpose. You can run it for your gifts, for your legendary, you can run it for lodestones, you can run it for gold, you can run it if you need a certain armor set for your build and you don't want to pay, you know, a bunch of gold for it on a trading post. Now those dungeons have a purpose, but where does this new dungeon content fit? It is a hardcore level 80 dungeon and really long. Now what I have a problem with is the rewards for the dungeon, not the dungeon itself. The dungeon itself was very well done. The pacing was well, the mechanics were great. It was challenging and you felt rewarded. Well, you didn't felt rewarded when you got to the end, but you felt like you accomplished something with your party. You went through pretty much the mud just to get there because it wasn't an easy trial. Now, yes, things do become easier as you get used to it, but why should we get used to it when the rewards are not worth the time and effort? Now, the something special that you get from only this dungeon is the Twilight skins. You get a chance to get these. Now, my problem is not with RNG, oh, QQQ, RNG, everywhere. No, my problem is that this shouldn't be the main source of your reward. There should always be a solid chance to get something, you know, permanent, like just like the regular dungeons. You get tokens that you can use to buy what you want. So when you go through a dungeon, even if it takes long, guess what? At the end of that dungeon, you know that you're gonna get tokens that you can use somewhere else to get what you want. Yes, you get a little bit of gold, but I mean, really, you can just go somewhere else to get gold and champion bags and all that. You don't really need to go to a long, you know, absurd dungeon just to do that. Now, I'm not saying it has to be tokens. I'm just saying there should be a reward, an incentive to guess what? You're gonna get something at the end of this dungeon, not putting hopes on you getting a 1% chance to get a skin. You know, like, constantly going through a dungeon over and over again just trying to get that skin. If a person runs all day trying to get that skin, guess what? And they don't get it, they're just not gonna play it, which makes the dungeon useless, basically. And no one wants to play, then you will have no party to play it. So what will be the point? In my opinion, if they want to make hardcore content, as they call it, make it extremely hard, and make it worth it at the end. Because if you get through to the end, right, kind of like the Tequado, right? Like it took people a few hours to get to learn Tequado to actually beat him on the daily basis now. If you do this with a dungeon, make it real hard and make not an RNG, get a reward, a solid reward at the end of that dungeon, a piece of shard that helps you create your legendary armor or whatever. You get like one piece and you have to keep running it to get those pieces together to make it. Yes, it'll make people run it over and over again, but I mean, that's what you want. But guess what? You always feel like you're making progress when you run a dungeon. You don't want to feel like you're going through a dungeon and you do not make progress and you do not earn anything from it. That makes it unrewarding. No, 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 no. Rewarding is not finishing the dungeon. Oh my gosh, that was hard, and now I can beat it in an hour now, you know, with no deaths and blah blah blah. No, no, that's not rewarding, okay? Rewards are rewarding. I'm sorry, that is just my opinion on that subject. For the Halloween Clock Tower and Super Adventure Box, it's rewarding to complete. Yes, for me personally, it's rewarding. Yes, that's why I say I feel like that's rewarding. In Tribulation Mode, when I completed it, I got like a skin, like who cares? Really, I just wanted to say I beat Tribulation Mode and get the achievement for it. Oh, I beat the Clock Tower, I can really do it easily now and, you know, get the achievement for it. I'm fine. That feels rewarding. That's why I say that content is probably not for me, because I do not feel rewarded for completing that content. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done now. Hopefully all that made sense. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Disagree with me, agree with me, I don't care. Put it in the comments below. Let's discuss, homies. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like, share with your friends, leave a comment, say what's up in the comment section below. And stay visual.